Gentlemen, and probably a few ladies out there, the day has come. The day has come. Broken Arrow is releasing tomorrow in early access. As somebody did note in the post that I made earlier today about how it is releasing tomorrow. Yes, Steam says the 19th, but it is going early access in probably about 24 hours after this video has gone live. We're going to talk about that today, and we're going to talk about our plans. I am obviously going to be hitting this game extremely hard. This is going to be my full-time job, is playing this game, teaching you guys about this game, covering news about this game, checking out the mods that pop up, checking out the scenarios that pop up, streaming it on Twitch daily. So if you guys are interested in Broken Arrow, you have to follow me on here, subscribe, and you have to follow me over on Twitch. I am setting up some settings, and I am setting up some stuff on the OBS side to hopefully be able to stream to both Twitch and YouTube and record in a higher quality to then, if we have a good game, post that game later in its own video form, as well as, you know, have those kind of debriefs and stuff like that about those games. Those will be coming later. But as it sits right now, the only thing I am effectively able to do is to stream on Twitch and record in a high quality. Now, my most recent videos from the early access, I screwed up in a few different places. There were a few things that changed in terms of gameplay from the press access in April, which I did not understand at that time. There's a few things and settings that I had set up on my recording software, which screwed that up. So the gameplay that you saw of my most recent games are not actually the highest quality that I can record at. It was actually less than 1080p. I actually had my Escape from Tarkov settings for those games. So even though they looked fine and they were pretty smooth, the actual detail, the sharpness of those graphics actually could have been better, because I'm going to be able to record in 2K, aka 1440p. Well, record it, and then as well, I should be able to stream it on YouTube as well. So stay tuned for much higher quality video. And even though it was perfectly viewable, you know what I mean. It's perfectly, or correction, just a better high quality video coming up with that. So without further ado, let's talk through what exactly is happening tomorrow. On my end of things, I am going to be live all day. I am going to be playing with Sacriel. If you guys don't know him, go follow him over on Twitch. He plays loads of different games. Big name in just gaming in general in terms of content creators. And he is super into Broken Arrow. Of all the people, apart from maybe Bolt, who also we're going to be playing with, I'll talk about him in a minute, Sacriel is right behind Bolt in terms of his interest in this game, in terms of his understanding and whatnot. He's going to be around. He'll be playing the game lots, so make sure you go follow him. Karma Cut. Those of you guys that play tactical shooters, and as you can see already here, he's already doing a little bit of that, and also the lead developer of Bellum. They got some big news that came out yesterday as well. Anybody that's played Squad, anybody that's played Arma, you probably know Karma. Karma is going to be getting into Broken Arrow, and he's going to be playing with us tomorrow. And this is going to be his first experience with multiplayer. And generally speaking, the game at large, he's only played those 2 single-player missions. He's actually never played multiplayer, and he's actually never done anything outside of the single-player. Like, he hasn't really even put, you know, units down. He hasn't done the multiplayer stuff. So Karma is going to be joining us tomorrow, and as I mentioned before, as I just mentioned, he's newer. So those of you guys that are newer to the game, those of you guys that are struggling perhaps in multiplayer, you're going to be able to see us teach Karma what we can. And then what I mean by us is myself and Sacriel, and most likely most likely Bolt. We'll talk about that in a second. We are going to be teaching him what we can as we go. And if you watch his footage, I'm actually not sure if he's going to be streaming it, but if you see what he does and how he acts in game and what he asks about, the decks that he uses and things like that, it could end up being very helpful for you guys on your end. Additionally, also in a similar boat, Moydog. Moydog has played a lot of Warno in particular, so he should know what he's doing, generally speaking. However, he has not played Broken Arrow at all. Those of you guys that missed those previous tests, this is going to be an interesting person to watch for you. Again, I don't know if he's going to be live himself, but he is going to be playing with us tomorrow. And again, similar boat to Karma. if you guys are newer to the game. Perhaps you've played a lot of Warno, perhaps you've played a lot of Wargame, but you, for some reason or another, had not played much Broken Arrow. Anything that we talked to Moydog about might end up being almost exactly what we would suggest to you if you were in the call with us, essentially. So, interesting perspective there to look out for. Next, we have Clean. Clean's on the fence. So, Clean knows practically nothing about this entire world of RTS or this entire genre of RTS. And he's enjoying his time playing other games at the moment. So, Clean might not end up joining us. And if that is the case, then you all know Saucy. So, aka Bolt Sauce, who I partner with on many occasions. If Clean does not want to play Broken Arrow tomorrow, Bolt will be joining us. We are not going to have an episode of the debrief this week. Bolt is away. He's doing a conference for work. So we are not going to have an episode of the debrief this week. At least not that we're going to be recording today. This is Sunday. I'm recording this pretty soon before I actually end up posting this video. So the next that you hear from Bolt is probably going to be live tomorrow if Clean does not show up. However, if Clean does want to play, that is going to add significantly more. If you guys are new to the genre, if you're new to the game, definitely anything that I teach, Karma Kut, Moydog, and if Clean, and especially Clean if Clean does show up, is going to be super helpful to you guys. So that's why, from both a gameplay perspective at the top and a understanding perspective at the proverbial bottom, these streams and these videos and these games that I'm going to be posting are going to be very helpful for you guys if you are newer to the game, newer to the genre, all that stuff. Additionally, we have some backups and we have some other friends who are interested. Vulcan just DM'd me this morning as well. Vulcan is interested in playing with us. Airwing is interested in playing with us. If stream snipers, if issues arise, we will try and find a few other people to play with us so that we can do in-house 5v5s. So if you are a mutual content creator, if you are somebody who has, you know, generally speaking, have these kinds of followings and you're listening to me right now and you are interested in playing with us, no matter your skill level, anything like that, hit me in the DMs, jump on Discord, DM me on Discord, go through the paces there, whatever you want to call it, and if we end up doing 5v5s, then we might have a spot for you. So reach out if you are interested. But then again, it is only 5v5s, of which that is information that was given to us by the developers recently. And that is where we are going to get to the news tomorrow. Tomorrow, the game releases at 4 p.m. GMT. So that is noon EST. All of us are going to be able to play at noon EST. I'm probably going to be live a little sooner than that over on Twitch. And I probably won't be posting a video tomorrow. Probably everything that I do tomorrow is probably going to be through Twitch. So again, guys, twitch.tv/niceguy, not the Autistic Armchair General, because I have some different channels. I have some different names across the universe here in terms of gaming. So it's probably plastered on the screen. If not, it is linked below. So if you want to see what I'm up to tomorrow along with all of my friends here, twitch.tv/niceguy with an N, or sorry, with an O, NOICEGUY. So noon EST is when it's going to kick off. And the problems are probably going to start immediately. We cannot preload the game. And the reason why the problems might start immediately is because the game is extremely popular. This is part of an email from Slytherin through their their marketing director or whoever's in charge of it, or whoever's in charge of contacting content creators. This was part of the email that is going to send me my edition of the game, my copy of the game. I've already bought it, so I'm not going to need to wait for this version. I'm not going to need to wait for the code. Apparently, they're sending the codes like at noon. So anybody that's going to get a free version of the game from Slytherin, it's possible they might not even play tomorrow. It depends on when they send the keys out. Luckily, I don't need to worry about that. So I'm just going to stick with the one that I bought. And I will be doing a giveaway of this key. anybody listening to me right now has probably already owned the game, or they're thinking about owning the game, so I don't know how popular exactly that's going to be. Maybe you'll give it to a friend or something like that. But, of course, if I get a second edition of the game, I will give that away. Stay tuned for stuff about that. Now, the reason why I brought this up is, if you read through here, the long wait is almost over. The large-scale RTS Modern Warfare Tactics game Broken Arrow is almost here after exceedingly successful pre-launch beta tests, over 350,000 hours watched on Twitch, 7,000 hours streamed, 1 million wish lists, being in the top 30 most wishlisted games on Steam in the last 12 weeks, and 500,000 players already registered and signed up for battle, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why they said registered. Perhaps they're trying to not say that 500,000 people have already pre-ordered the game. I'm going to add a bit of speculation in here, and I'm going to say it is possible that 500,000 people are going to be ready to go, while saying I am certain there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people that are going to be ready to go. It's going to be tens and tens of thousands of people are going to be trying to download and install this game at the exact same time. So that is going to be issues. Tens of thousands of people that are using fiber internet are going to be trying to log into the game at the same time. That is going to cause issues. Tens of thousands of people who have fiber internet and are just quicker to click things are going to be trying to create decks, are going to be trying to play the campaign, are going to be trying to start multiplayer matches at the same time. Things are going to break. They're going to break. We will see how badly they break, and we'll see of the things that break, what don't break. But things are going to break. I am not sure why they did not let us preload it, but it's not like it's going to cause anything differently, because everybody that preloaded, they would have just tried to log into the game at the same time anyway. The real bit of information here is this. Is that it's going to be tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of people trying to get into the game at the same time. So things are going to break. Be prepared for that. Here are your min specs. And it's also, because we can't preload, we can also see what the size of the game is going to be. So make sure that you guys have 85 gigabytes ready to go on your drives. And also make sure that you are ready to go on the tech side of things. And or if you're not, be prepared for potential issues being able to run the game. There's your min spec, and there is what is required for your space on your drive in order to actually install and be able to play the game. If you're playing on Mac, tough luck. You're not going to be able to play on Mac. Now, after we actually get into the game, what does the skirmish mode contain? At release, skirmish mode will support 3v3, 4v4, 5v5 PvE, which means you will be able to play against AI. Team up with your friends and learn the game at your own pace against various AI presets that represent battle groups you will face on the battlefield. Balancing for 1v1 and other single-player configurations against the cooperatively with the AI are planned for future updates and will be released as free content. Do note that it is possible to create and play content that is very similar to skirmish mode in the game scenario mode and or by using the scenario editor to create missions. This includes being able to use your decks to play out these missions and set up allies to support you like you would in a skirmish. So there is not 2v2. There is not 1v1 single player configurations for the skirmish mode. You will need at least three friends in order to just automatically skirmish the AI, if not 5, but up to 5. So 3, 4, and 5 v5 is going to be available for skirmish mode and against the AI, of which I am going to expect you will need decks for if you want to test something in particular. Otherwise, I'm assuming that you can use the default decks. Default decks are a little weird. If you do want to try and get the most out of playing against the AI and testing your decks, I would use your own deck. So once you get into the game, I would create 2 decks for the United States, and I would create 2 decks for the Russians. One that's ground, one that's air, for both. So create a ground deck for the US, create an airborne deck for the US, create a ground deck for the Russians, create a airborne deck for the Russian. That way, based off of whatever map you end up going on to, whenever you do get in the multiplayer, whenever you do get into the game, you're going to have something that's probably going to work for you. There's a lot of urban maps. There's going to be a bunch of maps that we haven't played yet. There's going to be, but you know, there's going to be some open fields. There's going to be some tree lines. There's going to be some buildings. Based off what you see on the map before you play it, chances are you're going to be able to use one of the decks that you've made, whether that be US or Russia, and so that you're good to go. What you do not want to do if you care about your gameplay is you do not want to use a default deck if you know what you're doing. So make sure you plan ahead. Make sure you make, like I said, 2 US, 2 Russian. Make sure you have it selected. Be careful. Watch out for those decks selected before you go into the game. Anybody that has played the previous alphas, you're going to know they might sneak up on you, and it is hell to play a default deck. It is. It's annoying. If you know what you're doing. If you don't really know what you're doing, it's not the end of the world. But if you know what you're doing, those default decks are pretty weird. How long is the single-player campaign? 19 missions. There was another thing they posted the other day that said 18, so I don't exactly know what's going on there, but it's 19. Will there be co-op mode in the campaign? Not at launch. So you cannot play co-op campaign with your buddies yet. Can we share our battle groups? Yep. Can't do it in-game, though. You got to do it through the files. I will be sharing those. Stay tuned on our Discord, linked below. Potentially stay tuned to my Twitter. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter. And we'll have plenty of it on stream. So if you're watching this after the 16th at noon EST, I will be live on Twitch. You can come by, ask if I've made a deck. Chances are we'll even have a command set up if you guys do want to check out those decks. I'll make a bunch of starter decks, and I'll make some regular decks and whatnot for each of the nations. How moddable is the game? We provide a very powerful scenario editor which will allow players to create multiplayer game modes, solo, and cooperative missions, including dialogues and cutscenes. People willing to make deeper modifications will have to use external tools. So it's basically just, yes. How moddable is the game? Yes. However, don't see a map editor. I see pretty much everything but a map editor, so stay on the lookout for Steam Workshop. It is available in the Steam Workshop. So all the mods, all the scenarios, all that good stuff, you're probably going to find in the Steam Workshop. So if you guys are playing potentially 2 days after the release, there might be some 1v1. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and guarantee there's going to be 1v1 versus AI scenarios. There's going to be 2v2 versus AI scenarios that are up there on the workshop. So if you guys are playing the weekend after release, go check it out. I think I saw a cheater. How do I report them? You guys are going to see cheaters. I don't know if it's going to be day 1. I don't know if it's going to be day 2. I don't know if it's going to be week 1. I don't know if it's going to be week 2. Don't know if it's going to be month 1, month 2. It'll probably be month 2. They're going to show up. This is the world we live in. People want to cheat. For whatever reason. This game is vulnerable. They have an anti-cheat system in there. They're not talking about it. But every lock has a key. And if it has a key, it's got a way to break into that bitch. People are gonna cheat in this game. Unfortunately, they cheated in the last tests. It's a competitive game. People want to feel powerful in winning against people that are trying their best, even when they have unfair advantages. So, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying kind of deal. People are going to cheat. If you have obvious proof that somebody is cheating, post it on the Discord. I will be able to get that person banned within the hour. But also, there's a report button. So if you are suspect of somebody, report them. If you are certain about somebody, let me know or post it in their Discord. That person will be gone. Unfortunately, there's no spectator mode. So anybody that is hoping to do competitive stuff, anybody that's hoping to do tournaments, best of luck to them. Any of you guys that would like to get involved with that, also, best of luck to you. I think the game is not balanced, as I've explained, and I don't think that it is in a state that is ready for competitive play. Hope you guys have fun doing that stuff. I hope you enjoy it. You're going to find out the things that I know about the way that the game is balanced eventually. If the devs haven't made any changes to that stuff, which I don't think that they have. I've been talking to some people. I don't think that they've changed that stuff. So, you know, maybe dabble with some Russian airborne when you guys get out there. Maybe dabble with some US stealth planes with just bombs. Like, don't even bother fighting air-to-air with the U.S. stealth planes. Just bring bombs. And see what kind of trouble you can get into. And we'll see where that path leads us. But again, there will not be a spectator mode. So you're not going to be able to either enjoy competitive or watch your game. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to also be able to see if somebody's cheating or not. On the spectator side of things, if they are teaming up with people that know they're cheating, or if they are, for whatever reason, whatever the reason might be, that you would want to be able to see their gameplay, you're not going to be able to do it. So we'll see when that ends up popping up. It seems like it'll end up in there eventually, but it's not going to be there at release. So you're not going to be able to rewatch your games or nothing. And yes, they did say yes. I forgot I added that bit there. And again, on the anti-cheat side of things, I probably should have moved that tab over. It's not kernel level, so yeah, there's ways of getting through, you know, kernel level stuff, apparently, according to people that talk about cheats for what's-its-face, like Valorant and stuff like that, which apparently those guys have kernel level stuff. For those that don't know, I am an Escape from Tarkov creator, long time is quote-unquote OG Escape from Tarkov creator, so there's been a lot of anti-cheat discussions. There's been a lot of cheat discussions. There's been a lot of anti-cheat discussions that I've been a part of. And I know that that's one of the things that are very good against cheaters, and it's not going to be a thing in this game. So, again, there are going to be people cheating. Perhaps it won't be on day one. Don't accuse everybody immediately, because that's a cry wolf situation. But it's going to happen. So be on the lookout. Track names. Report them in-game and out, especially if they're obvious. And let's see if we can, you know, let's see if we can just be annoying to them the same way that they're being annoying to us. But that's everything that we got for release there. Like I said, I'm going to be posting my decks tomorrow on Discord, and I'll have them in chat. And again, I will be live at twitch.tv/NiceGuy, NoIceGuy. You're probably going to see it on the screen, and I'll probably have it linked below. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll find a way to play the game, even if it is burning, with the amount of people that are probably going to be trying to log in, since you can't preload. But even if you could preload, you know, it's going to be login servers. It's going to be issues there. It's going to be people that are trying to match in. And make sure you have your 85 gigs ready to go so that you're actually able to install the game. Otherwise, guys, good luck. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you around with the rest of the stuff that I have planned, because I have quite a lot planned. Hope to see you in stream. And I also hope you have a nice day. See you guys.